Welcome to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. Now we are going to learn the chapter How do organisms reproduce? See, we learned the previous chapter Life Processes, or the next chapter in the textbook is Control and Coordination. But here, look at the heading. The name of the chapter itself is a question to you. How do organisms reproduce? But before we discuss or find out the answer for this question, I have another question for you. Why do organisms reproduce? Is this question relevant? Because when we learned about other life processes like nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion, we never asked a question, why do organisms do that? There was no need of that question because we know that they were essential life processes. Without nutrition or without transportation, respiration or excretion, no organism can survive. Reproduction is also a life process, but it is not an essential life process. Organisms need not reproduce in order to maintain their life. But it happens. For what? So if it is not essential, why do they spend a lot of energy in such a complicated process of reproduction? The answer is simple. It is for the maintenance of species. So reproduction is not essential for the sustenance of an individual, rather it is required for the sustenance or maintenance of the species. We have millions of organisms around us and we notice them because they are large in number. But if there is a single individual of a particular species, we wouldn't have even noticed that. So reproduction increases the number, which will give stability to that species and they can survive better in this environment. So if we define reproduction, it is a process by which organisms reproduce young ones of their own kind. That's very important. Young ones of their own kind or the similar kind of offsprings are produced. Offspring means the young ones or the children. So here, why similar kinds? Because even in smaller classes you learn a cat produces a kitten, a coconut tree produces a coconut tree. Because similarity is an essential factor here. A human child should look like a human being only with all the essential features. I am telling similarity, not identical. Okay, so here comes the importance of this. How can the baby be similar to the parents? It is because of our genetic material or our blueprint called a DNA. So many times we see identical buildings. In several flats we know all the apartments are having the same design. How is it possible? It is not made by a single person. It can be made by or supervised by different engineers. But they all follow the same blueprint of the building so that everything look the same. So here also from our parents we inherit the blueprint of their body design. The blueprint is nothing but DNA copying is the initial step in the reproduction. That is prior to cell division, that is gamete formation, which are required for the reproduction, or if it is in the case of asexual reproduction, multiplication of cell, everywhere a process called a DNA copying happens. So this is known as the basic event in reproduction. So it's a very important point for you to remember, which is the basic event in reproduction. So the answer is DNA copying or DNA replication, where a copy of a DNA is made so that it can be given to the children, so they will inherit the same characteristics like their parents. So what is the importance of this DNA copying? Our DNA contains information or codes for protein. Our body has lots of proteins doing various functions. They act as receptors, they act as messengers, they act as hormones, they act as enzymes. So without proteins we cannot function. So, and they are the building blocks of our body as well. So in this case, the proteins have to be made and entire information is present on the DNA. So when the DNA is being copied, if there happens any error or if there is altered sequences coming or the information is there, then what happens? The protein made from that information also will be different. Right? Suppose I want you to draw the picture of a cat and I am writing cat on the board and I am telling you to draw cat. So you are supposed to draw cat, but by mistake I am making a spelling mistake while writing. Though I wanted you to draw cat, I am writing rat here. So after that, when I check your paper, I don't find the picture of cat there. What do I see? Rat. So information has changed, so the protein made also will change. So but if protein changes, what's the problem? The entire body design will get altered. So in order to maintain the same body design, the DNA copying is essential. So we know that after the DNA divides inside a nucleus, if simply the DNA is given out, it cannot survive. So the entire cell will divide. So first the nucleus divides, followed by that the cytoplasm also divides. So a single cell becomes two daughter cells. So if the DNA is not replicating or copying, but if it divides, only there will be half the number of half the amount of the information, those cells will not survive. That's why first a DNA copy is made, then the cells are dividing, so that equal number of DNA content, entire information is there in both the daughter cell nucleus. But we know that in spite of all the care is being taken, none of the biochemical processes are absolutely perfect, right? There can be errors. So here also thousands of information is being copied. So in such case, there are chances of getting some errors here and there. Though during DNA copying, proofreading is being made. But in spite of that, there exists minor variations or minor changes. So they are not gross errors or severe mistakes, but minor errors. Even then, the protein may be different, but not to the extent of the threatening of life of the new cell. So in such cases, the organism will survive, but it will be slightly different from the original DNA information. So that is called a variation. So we need variations. Small variations are actually a blessing for us to exist in this changing environment. That's called only then evolution is possible. So when we are talking about reproduction, there are two types of reproduction basically: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, two parents are involved, so their DNA is coming together, so variations are more. In asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved, so exact copy of the parent is made. So in the point of view of evolution, which is the better type of reproduction, it is sexual reproduction. So there should be variation from generation to generation, but it should not be very drastic variation happening within the daughter cells. So when there is DNA is being copied from generation to generation, that is parents to offspring to next offspring, there should be a consistency. That's what I meant. The variation should be minimum. If drastic variations are there, organisms will not survive in the given environment. Because if human beings are considered, we are adapted to live in. So our DNA has the information or the types of proteins to adapt to this existing environment. Whereas in a fish, the entirely different sets of proteins will be there, enabling it to live underwater. So consistency should be maintained generation after generation for the existence of that particular organism in the given niche. Niche means nothing but the habitat, but it is in a wider perspective. We are not only talking about the physical geographical area where it is living, but we are also talking about the whole environment when we are using the word niche. So it is used in a wider perspective. So the organism interacts with other organisms, biotic as well as abiotic factors. So everything is inclusive inside the terminology niche. So if there is a particular reproducing group of organisms adapted to a particular niche, that means the surrounding, and if they don't keep up the consistency of their DNA information, the survival within that particular niche will be a question. And if the organism is going like that without much variation, but the niche is drastically changing all of a sudden, there can be the difficulty of survival of this particular organism. Because if there is a global warming, temperature is going very high, but our body is adapted to normal temperature, or if the carbon dioxide concentration is increasing to a very dangerous level, we are not adapted to that. So in such situations, niche is drastically changing and we are not actually changing with the environment. So in such case, the organism will not be able to survive. Second scenario is the organism undergoes drastic changes, but the niche is not changing drastically quickly. In that condition also, the organism will not be able to survive in the existing niche. So there should always be a harmony between the variations that the organism's DNA undergo and the change in the niche. So they should go parallelly. So if they are going in a synchronized manner, they can survive. So whenever the niche is changing, the DNA also has to make necessary changes, slight variations in order to adjust. So consistency is more or less required in this situation. So this was an introduction for the chapter reproduction, how do organisms reproduce. Next video we will go into the details of the types of reproduction and asexual reproduction in detail. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe to my channel Biology My Passion.